Okay guys, welcome to another video. In light of the sad news, especially for myself, who was a big fan of the passing of Eric Bristow, an amazing darts player, you know, played for England back in the 80s. One of the guys, I think it was Neil Morris actually, said, why don't you have a look at various darts games? So I thought, yep, that's an excellent idea. So kicking things off, this is Jockey Wilson's Dart Challenge. If you don't know who Jockey Wilson was, he hailed from Scotland. You know, some of the matches that him and Eric Bristow had back in the 80s were just absolutely immense. So anyway, back to the darts. I'm just going to kind of play one game of each kind of game. Nice animation. Little cutscene there. Now, obviously, you know, trying to replicate darts on an 8-bit machine is never going to be easy. You know, yeah, nowadays you've got motion control, so I mean, I've seen the darts games on the Wii and that kind of stuff, but to try and emulate darts, you know, using a joystick was never going to be easy. So the most sort of common mechanic that they use is the crosshair, or the hand that you throw the dart with, or even the dart itself in this case. It just randomly moves about, and you've got to try your best to sort of persuade the dart to go where you want it to go. Once you're ready to throw the dart, you press the fire button. Now this one's not too bad. I mean, this is the very first time I've ever played this game. Oh, there you go, I've just been beaten. The problem with some of these, he's just got treble 20, treble 20, treble 20. He's like, the computer's just scored 140 points here. You know, sometimes the computer skill needs to kind of step back a little bit to give you sort of half a chance. But yeah, in this game, the dart doesn't move about too badly, so you can kind of always get, well, there's another 100, so it's fairly easy. I think with a bit of practice, you could probably get 180s most times. You know, it's a very difficult sport to judge, because I mean, I used to play darts a lot back in the day, and it is a tough sport. Not from a physical point of view, but it's a hard sport to be good at. You know, you've really got to practice a lot. So it's difficult. There you go, he's just won 2-0. So that's Jockey Wilson's Dart Challenge. It's not bad. Probably the computer skill needs to be toned down a little bit. Right, next one, I've included this one because you might have remembered that Jim Bowen sadly passed away last month, I think it was. Him and Stephen Hawkins both died, I think, within a couple of days of each other. In fact, I kind of felt a bit sorry for Jim Bowen's family, because he died, and then I think the next day Stephen Hawkins died, and pretty much all the news coverage was on Stephen Hawkins. But Jim Bowen, he was a comedian. I think he was a stand-up comedian, and he made a name for himself presenting this game. So this is this is Bullseye. Now, I could not for the life of me figure out how to actually play the game. It took me a few goes. Basically, with this one, you've got to actually use the keyboard. You move left and right. So here we go. I've now this was a quiz program, by the way, on you know, back in the 80s. And which English moor is Lorna Doonsett? I have got no idea. Can't even type. Let's go for Dartmoor. Is that Dart? Ah, you know what? Dartmoor's not a bloody moor, is it? What about Yorkshire Moor? Yes, let's try that. I don't even know that many moors. There's Saddleworth Moor, where the Myra Hindley and Ian Brady buried kids. But yeah, so here you've got to this. You can only move the hand left and right, and then you press the spacebar to throw it. Now the strength obviously shows you how hard or how high you're going to throw the dart. It's a pretty shit game mechanic, I have to say. I couldn't figure out how to. I mean, in Bullseye, you got to pick what category you want, but I could not for the life of me figure out how to do it in this one. So yeah, this is a pretty poor game. I mean, this one could have been really good. Because Bullseye was a great fun game. Now, what if I hit there? Bonus point 50, what was that? History, is it? What US president proclaims South America as being within the US sphere of influence? I haven't got a clue. Let's go for Abraham Lincoln. Thing about these games is there was obviously very, very little questions, very few questions because of the lack of memory. Places. What was the name of Volgograd during World War II? I've got no idea. So it's now Archie's turn. Right, the keyboard is coming up with shite. I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, it's a rubbish game mechanic. Moving left and right and pressing spacebar to throw the dart. Why they couldn't let you move up and down, I don't know. Potluck. Which comedian was born Eric Bartholomew? The only Eric comedian I can think of is Eric Morecambe. Right, I don't know what's going on here. The keyboard is completely playing up. Yeah, it was oddly because it was letting me type in fine earlier on. But anyway, listen, that is Bullseye, and that is quite frankly pish. Right, next up, this was the one that I played back in the day. This was released by Mastertronic and it cost the princely sum of £1.99, and it was actually good. I used to play this a lot. It had excellent presentation and it was very playable. So here, yeah, the hand sort of randomly moves about, but with practice, if you can get the hand to sort of move in a kind of straight line, you know, after a bit of practice you could almost get treble 60s every time. But this is the first time I've played this in probably the best part of 35 years. The graphics are really, really good for this. You know, when you consider it was a budget game. I think Jockey Darts Challenge, by the way, I think, and Bullseye, I think they were both full price games. There you go, treble 60. What they probably should have done is put a timer on it, because in theory you could spend as long as you wanted to try and get the hand where you wanted it. Now, interestingly, when I was making this video, considering Eric Bristow was the absolute force in darts back in the 80s, there was never a video game released with his name in it, which is quite strange, because as you'll see, there's one with John Lowe, Jockey Wilson, obviously. Why was there never one with the crafty Cockney himself? I don't know why. Possibly they couldn't afford them, I don't know. I mean, Eric Bristow, he was for everybody that liked him, people didn't like him. I mean, he was very, very outspoken, especially more recently. He said a few things about different things, and yeah, he's very outspoken, but I think that's what people liked about him. He said his mind, and you know, it's quite possible that he just point blank refused to get drawn into computer games. I mean, he was such an amazing professional. I mean, he was the guy that put sort of Phil Taylor on the map. He sponsored Phil Taylor. You know, he paid for Phil Taylor to go around all the tournaments in the world, and obviously Phil Taylor went on to become the greatest ever darts player. But Eric Bristow back in the day was just untouchable. He really was. But yeah, this game 180 is an excellent game. If I remember rightly, it looks like I'm not going to be able to demonstrate. When you do get 3 treble 20s, you get the guy shouting 180. And for a budget game, There we go. So after all these years I'm still able to win. That is excellent. Right, next up is Bully's Sporting Darts. Now you can see there you've got different options. You've got 501, go around the clock. I don't know what football or tennis is, cricket, snooker, no idea. Let's go for the easy one, let's go round the clock. Right, for computer player, type computer, then type skill level. Right, so computer, and then skill level. Ah, right, okay, I'm guessing it wanted me to put the skill level after typing the word computer, right, okay. Right, this is similar to 180, but there appears to be no conceivable way to actually influence where this is going. Believe you me, this is me trying to computer to play. This is actually me playing again. This is me trying to get a treble 20. It's just all over the place. Yeah, this is I would say this is borderline unplayable. I mean, my darts are just going everywhere. Though it is at least, well, I was going to say it's better than the Bullseye mechanic. At least with Bullseye mechanic you could actually have a half a decent attempt at hitting the dart where you wanted it to, but this one is just, it's completely uncontrollable. Which is a shame because, you know, the graphics are quite nice actually. The board looks like a kind of real dartboard. But believe you me, I am trying here. I am trying to get a decent score, but it's just going everywhere. And you know, darts is all about scoring, and if you can't aim the dart, then you know it's a pointless game. Anyway, I think that's quite enough of that. This is completely unplayable. That is Bully's Sporting Darts. Right, next one is John Lowe's Ultimate Darts by Gremlin Graphics. I do remember seeing this getting advertised. I never ever bought it at all. It was full price. Unlike I think all these other ones were all, no, I think they were all full price. Although I say 180 was definitely a budget game. But interestingly, with this one, this game here, it's got oodles and oodles of options. But what I've discovered is you can play darts. You know, as I'm going to try and demonstrate here, you can play darts using, you know, you're playing darts on the computer. But what this also allows you to do is to take on players, but you're actually throwing real darts on a real dartboard. So you basically type in your score. So it's an interesting sort of scoring thing, you know. But if you buy a darts game, you're going to want to be able to play darts. That's the whole point of it. You know, if I had a darts, well, if I had a dartboard, I wouldn't want to be playing this. I would just stick to real darts. Well, that was 100. What was that? 121, straight off the mark. So similar to Bully's Sporting Darts and also not Bullseye, Jockey Wilson Darts and 180, you've got the randomly moving sort of crosshair thing. You've got to try and time it, and it actually works pretty well. I like the presentation of this. It actually looks like kinda real darts, the way it kinda comes flying in. That wasn't quite so good. I don't know what I got there. Was it 20 or something? So this one has got far more options than any other one. And I'm sure with a bit of practice you would get to you'd be able to suss out how to actually control the cursor. Yeah, you could spend all day trying to wait for it to move over the treble 20. But I think it's suffice to say that darts on 8-bit computers doesn't really go particularly well. You know, it's never ever going to replicate the actual sport. You know, it's pretty much a kind of lottery as to what you're going to score. Right, I think I'll have one more go and then we'll move on to the last one. What's going on here? Come on. Yeah, anyway, I think that's enough of that one. That is John Lowe's Ultimate Darts. And the very last one is Wacky Darts. And this is by Codemasters, and this was quite a late release. This came out in 1990. Aim, hit, fire to select your opponent. Looks like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, doesn't it? Gordon the Alien. And we've also got a wacky commentator on the TV. Oddly, it looks like I mean, these are all in the Commodore 64, by the way. It actually looks like a Spectrum on this. Yeah, nice presentation, I suppose. But the proof in the game is how it actually, I don't know what he's throwing. It looks like he's throwing paper aeroplanes. Like the other versions, yep, you've got this hand that just moves randomly, and this one it's quite, it moves quite a lot. I'm trying to actually control it. I mean, I'm trying to get treble 20 there. I don't know what I got. I'm assuming since this was by Codemasters, this was probably a budget game. But again, there's just a bit too much movement in the hand to make it, you know, to really introduce any real level of skill. It's just really, it's completely random, I think, actually. So yeah, that's it, guys. That's all the kind of well-known dart games that were released on the 8-bit machines. I don't remember any dart games on the 16-bit. I don't think so. But yeah, I mean, Jockey Wilson's darts was pretty good. At least you can control it. You know, I think you can probably get quite a decent game going after half an hour of practice. Bullseye was pish, utter garbage. 180 is excellent. You can definitely get quite good at that after quite a short period of time. Bully's Sporting Darts, again, the movement was just completely random. Had no idea how to control it. John Lowe's Darts, it was promising. It was certainly the most expensive one back in the day. Lots of options, and like I says, if you're really that way inclined, you could actually play real darts against it and type in your score. And this Wacky Darts, again, it looks alright. It's probably got the nicest presentation, but the hand movement is just way too random. So my pick would probably be 180, and followed by Jockey Wilson's Dart Challenge. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and as always, thank you very much for watching.